Episode of Ask a Cleaning Expert. I am your host, Melissa Homer, Chief Cleaning Officer of Microfiber Wholesale. I'm a professional cleaning expert with over 20 years experience in the professional cleaning industry, here to answer your toughest cleaning challenges right out of the comments. Every week, we select a different theme, not to restrict your questions. So I want to make sure you ask anything that's on your mind related to cleaning. But we add a theme to help you learn specific knowledge and to inspire questions you may not even realize you had. This week's theme is all about helping your kids learn to love to clean. Summer's out officially as of this week throughout lots of the country. Some of you that had a lot of snow days in the winter or maybe started school after Labor Day may be in for a few more weeks. So you might have an extra week to prepare before the kids come home. But for most of us, it's go time. And your house is about to show your kids' love or hate of cleaning real fast. So we decided this timely live theme would help a lot of people right now because they're about to get in the thick of it and learn how to help your kids enjoy helping keep your household looking sane throughout the summer. This is a topic that is a personal passion of mine because I have two young children and the struggle's real, y'all. I admit, even as a cleaning expert, trying to help my kids learn to appreciate caring for their own stuff and caring for their own space is a challenge. So I want to share with you some of the tips and tricks that I have figured out both as a professional and just as a mom. So before I dive in, though, I want to make sure I give all my loyal listeners what I know you're looking for, which is your discount code for the week. Those of you that watch our show regularly know that every Friday I offer questions and answers and cleaning knowledge from a professional, but I also offer discounts and free giveaways and goodies. So if you're a loyal subscriber and you like and follow our page and you ask questions, don't be surprised if you walk home with some treats. But for everybody that's tuning in, our discount code for this week is Kid Clean 15. Again, it's Kid Clean 15. Kind of rhymes, right? Use this code on microfiberwholesale.com to get 15% off your purchase. So if there's a new mop or duster or set of rags that you've been eyeing, this is your chance to get on there and get a great discount on some incredible quality product. Purchasing items off of Microfiber Wholesale actually helps support this content. So if you're enjoying this content and learning from it, go ahead and hop over there and buy something to make sure that they know that this content is valuable and sponsor it going forward. So without further ado, let's get into our theme of the week, which is helping kids clean. The reality I want to set first is, depending on your kid, they're never going to necessarily love cleaning. Because let's be honest, most adults don't love cleaning either. I know I'm unique. I'm a cleaning geek. I love this stuff and it excites me and I find it interesting. And it satisfies me both on that ASMR, making things look beautiful side, and also the lighting up the light bulbs in my head on the science side. But that's not everybody. Most people clean because they've gotta. And so if your kids aren't in love with cleaning, you're not failing as a parent. That's just humans being humans. So what we're going to do is try to make cleaning as fun, as approachable, as simple, and as manageable as we can for your kids. Because the reality is, just like with adults, most people are more reticent to do something they're intimidated by. And for a child, cleaning is intimidating. It feels like there's a lot to do, a lot to remember. Certain things go on certain surfaces. This chemical safe or not safe. Mom and dad usually yell at me about going to the kitchen sink, but now you want me to use that stuff from under there? I mean, there's a lot to it. And also, frankly, our kids are really good mess makers. And they can, in moments, turn a once organized room into an absolute disaster zone. And when that's happened, surveying all the chaos they've caused and trying to figure out how to get everything back to where it belongs can feel extremely overwhelming, both for kids and adults. So we have to teach them, like with all things they're going to learn how to do in life, how to take big ideas and break it down to manageable steps. Whether you in your career or your kids learning to clean or your education, telling someone you're going to become a doctor feels very overwhelming given the breadth of knowledge they have to learn. But you break it down to, okay, we're going to learn anatomy today. We're going to learn how the nervous system works. We're going to learn, we're going to break this down into pieces, and that becomes digestible, and you can learn and build on that knowledge. We have to teach kids how to have that same eat it one piece at a time, break down the elephant mentality when it comes to caring for their space and caring for the home. So let's get into how to make that easier for the kids. 1, model the right behaviors. Ideally, they should see you keeping your life organized. If your stuff's a mess and then you're complaining about their room, you kind of got to practice what you preach a bit. 2, they've got to see you throughout the home creating homes for your stuff. When you have a space that's nothing but piles of things and nothing has a home, everything's kind of living out on surfaces, it's really hard for you and your kids to keep up with everything. Things need to have a home that's easy to access if you're going to put something back. For example, if in your closet you have that one shelf up top and every sweater and coat or whatever you own is all in this big tall teetering piles, and you want the sweater in the middle, what's the likelihood you're going to be able to extract that sweater without knocking this whole thing down? And more importantly, once it's washed, what's your ability to get it back in that center spot? Pretty low, right? Now think about it as a child. If you want your kids to put things away, you need to have places for them to put it away that are easy for them to manage, that are compartmentalized enough that they can easily take, oh, these are the Legos, they go in these Lego tubs. And the Lego tubs are within their arm's reach in reasonable size that they know, okay, the Legos go in here, thunk. Or my fidgets have a fidget tub and all the fidgets go in a tub. I know I got some fidgets, I know where they go. When you create that organizational structure in their room and throughout the home, it's much easier to tell a kid, go put it away, if everyone knows the fidgets live in this tub over here rather than their room's just chaos and everything's on a shelf and they don't know where to shove things. So give things homes. And then, of course, as a cleaning geek, I got to talk tech. Cleaning tools really do help everyone, including kids, clean better. And the reality is, supplies made for adults don't always overlap for kids. Some of them do, but again, you gotta know what you're doing. So here's the insider tips. First, most spray cleaners are too big for little kids to manage. They're these quart spray bottles. They feel big. They're kind of heavy, and especially for younger children, they're intimidating. And depending what's inside them, you may spend more time panicking, are they going to get this in their eye, than helping them to clean properly. And then they feel your anxiety is like, oh no, spray it over there, do it whatever. And you're saying that to them. Now they feel that anxiety and doubt their ability to clean. The easiest thing you can do is get them their own fun little spray bottles. Very easy to do, very cost effective to do. Little 8-ounce to 16-ounce max sizes, colorful bottles, makes them exciting. And put very simple cleaner in there that you don't feel concerned about them getting on themselves. My personal favorite is little Dawn and water. Dawn, honestly, if you are in a pinch, you can clean your whole house with Dawn. You can. You might need a little vinegar here or there, but you can clean your whole house in Dawn. You really can. It's a surfactant. Surfactants connect soils and oils to water. That's their job. And your whole house is covered in soils and oils and sugars, and the sugars dissolve in the water anyway. So frankly, you can clean a whole house in Dawn. Now, other soaps make it easier, but you're not going to be asking the kids to remove the hard water stains from your shower. You're going to be asking them to clean up after themselves if they did a craft project on the kitchen table. And Dawn and water will do that. So give them their own spray bottles with a product you don't mind getting on their face and on their body and going, oh, okay, fine. And if it gets over different places, it's not going to damage anything. The only thing you have to do is just make sure it's not wet when they're done and remind them they got to dry up after themselves. As long as you can do that, they can run around with that bottle pretty safe. Another hint is, I know this is our product, but I got to mention it because it's important and smart, is make your towels fun and colorful. We sell a literal rainbow of microfiber. It doesn't get more fun than this, guys, okay? Let them pick their favorite color. Get a rainbow of colors. Make it visually exciting. Just like with food or anything else, when they tell you to help your kids eat the rainbow, when you serve kids very bland looking, boring food, they're going to fight. But when you make it a colorful tray of veggies that are bright and exciting and fruits and it's displayed attractively, kids instinctually come and start to try and grab and eat it because it's exciting and enticing. Same thing with the supplies. If you make it fun and help them feel empowered that this is something they got to pick, it's going to make it more fun for them to go grab and start helping you out. The other fun thing is giving them their own little caddy. They make a bunch of clean caddies in the industry that are adult size. I don't recommend that for kids. They're too big and clunky and they're going to whack into things. But these little soft mesh cleaning caddies are actually supposed to be shower caddies, but they fit several spray bottles just fine, especially those little 8 ounces you're giving them. So throw a couple bottles in there, a stack of rags, a couple of sponges and things that, they can clean with pretty easily. And now it's their kit. They can put their name on it. It's, write their name on the strap. And they feel ownership of, hey, you guys decide to make slime in the dining room and it's a mess. Grab your little caddy, have some fun, clean it up. And they can feel ownership over that's theirs. And again, start setting that mindset and that goal and that feeling that this is something that I'm supposed to do as part of playing and doing crafts is cleaning up after myself. And that ownership can help. The other last tip of stuff I'll point out here is the power of the timer. As a parent, you've probably seen timers like this used for everything. And frankly, there's a reason, okay? For both kids and adults, our attention spans suck. They do. I'm sorry. We live in a modern era where we're thing to thing to thing to thing. We keep our kids so overscheduled, so stimulated. Tablets and screens, TikToks and socials, kids' YouTube and all those things have trained everyone to this go, 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 high intensity, low time frame focus level. And I wish we had longer, but that's the way the world is going. And over time, they learn more sustained attention, but especially the small children, you only got so much time to keep them excited. Timers allow you to both manage that time frame and gamify cleaning. This is true for, by the way, for adults as well as kids. I know this timer is cute, so I picked it for a kid, but it works for you too. If you're feeling stressed about cleaning, I don't think I can do it all right now. Set that timer to 5 minutes, 10 minutes max, and make there some sort of reward points or treat system. You decide what's cool in your family to say, okay, if for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to dig into my room. And every time it dings, I get pom-poms towards whatever reward thing they're working towards quality time with mom and dad, towards going to your favorite park, towards more screen time if that's something that you meter out carefully, whatever it feels exciting to your kids. And saying, okay, set the timer. Again, they can feel ownership of it. There's so many cute timers on Amazon. Please don't try to use phones. Please don't try to use Alexa. It's got to be that physical moment. Or actually, Alexa works. She's kind of fun. But the physical ones, there's that moment of crank and tick, 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 bing. It creates that ownership and that tactile, I'm in charge of it, especially for a little kid. They can see the little numbers. And I can see it counting down. I can see it running out. Most kids struggle with reading clocks and even digital. Doing that math backwards of how much time I have left is pretty rough for most kids. So seeing that visual countdown of that tick, 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 tick down helps them understand, oh, I only have a minute left. I only have 2 minutes left. It gamifies the cleaning and makes it fun and allows them to feel not overwhelmed. Because when you tell them, oh, you need to clean your whole room, it goes, oh, well, how about you for 10 minutes? Here, watch it tick it down. Or 5 minutes even. 5 minutes, you get a pom-pom. You make it the next 5 minutes, you get 2 pom-poms. That kind of thing makes eating the elephant in single bites so much more fun, manageable, less stressful, and makes it achievable. And that's your goal in cleaning more than anything else, is making it a sustainable act. Cleaning is not meant to be a one-time flurry when things are disgusting. It's meant to be things you're doing ongoing. And when you teach your kids to make it an ongoing habit, it's so much easier long-term for them to build those healthy habits. Now, I see some chat popping in, and I want to make sure I hop in here and answer some questions. Let's see here. Are there any specific clean tasks that are particularly suitable for children to handle? Wonderful question. So I can give you some off the bat that I am comfortable listing off as, I found to be tried and trues, but I actually came prepared for this one, which is there are so many companies that have done a wonderful job creating huge database resources of age appropriate tasks for cleaning. And the reality is, depending on the age of your kid and depending on their learning disabilities and mental health challenges, those ranges and ages of what's appropriate for kids are going to be different for each child. And you, as the adult, need to set realistic expectations with yourself. Spruce Magazine did a wonderful one, which I'm going to share, and I'm on their cleaning board, so I'm a little biased. But they have a wonderful chore list for kids 2 to 18, and they break it up by age group. And I think it's very well done, and I agree with pretty much everything on there. So I will point that as a resource for later. Um, the reality is, things like a small child, is going to need to be assisted and scaffolded through most of their tasks. You can't tell a 2-year-old, here, go scrub the bathroom tub. Here's some Tilex with bleach. Good luck. You can't do that. But a 12, 13-year-old, they're at the stage where you can trust them with the heavier chemicals and start teaching them more complicated tasks. So looking at that chart to see where you're at is going to give you more realistic expectations. What I find as a rule is most adults forget what it's like to be a little kid and what's realistic and what feels like a complicated task to them. And people have a pesky habit of over asking the age level on those tasks and then being disappointed when the kid feels overwhelmed. So go ahead and reference that chart. And remember, things like learning disabilities and ADHD and autism and all that stuff is going to impact what level they're actually able to work at. It might put them one level behind what the age says they're supposed to be, and that's okay too. You need to know your kid and what they can and can't handle safely. And the goal is to make them love cleaning and love caring for their space and feel safe and confident that they can care for themselves. That's the long-term goal. We don't want to make it intimidating and push and freak them out now such that they always hate cleaning going forward. So, if you see on the task charts, oh, I should be able to have my kid do this right now, and they're struggling with it, don't beat yourself up and shove your kid and make them hate cleaning. It's okay to say, this is reasonable right now. We're going to work towards things, and I'm going to scaffold and support my child until they get to where they need to go. And so some simple tasks, like if you're working with small children, really the big thing at that age group is all about picking up the mess you made. And there's a lot of fun songs out there. I highly recommend checking out online. There's a number of cute songs if you can find on YouTube, whatever, about cleaning, especially with the little kid age group. It's fun to engage them with music and things like that, or their favorite songs. Help them make their own playlists as their cleaning playlist, right? Blast their favorite songs. Again, same for adults as kids. Upbeat music helps us stay engaged in our work. Set that timer with a short amount of time, and okay, we're gonna dig. You blasted your room this morning because you're home for summer, and you pulled down every toy and every craft project and every stuff you had, and it's all set up on your floor. 5 minutes. Let's see how fast you can go. How much can you get done in 5 minutes? Come, let me see when you're done. Engage them. Make them excited. Let them show off for you. Kids love to show off. And again, if you created bins and things that are easy for them to put stuff away in, that picking up after themselves is a huge thing they can do right away. Another thing that's appropriate for small children is wiping up things like after dinner. The kitchen table, dining room table, wherever it is that you eat. That's totally Dawn Water friendly stuff. With a decent quality microfiber towel, shameless plug, and a little Dawn Water, you can clean up after dinner. You can clean up after craft projects. You can wipe down that table after so many things. And wiping down a table is totally within the range of what a kid can do at almost any age. Once you've taught them at least the importance of drying up. If they're little, you're gonna have to at least be in this space and make sure that they're not spraying each other with the spray bottles and that drying up if they're spraying everywhere. Maturity comes with time. It's okay. That's why we give them Dawn Water, not bleach. And over time, you can start to foster that learning. But wiping down counters totally within range for most kids. They can also help with some light laundry. They may not be able to fold with the precision that you enjoy, but they can start to sort the laundry. They can start to pair up the socks. They can fold things like towels. They can fold things like they can fold things like towels. They can fold things like socks. They can fold things like sheets, pillowcases, simple things with sheets will probably be with you doing that. Everyone knows the sheet fold together. I'm sorry, I'm doing it because I'm visualizing my own kids. There's a lot of simple laundry they can do. They can also put away their own laundry reasonably young if you've made your laundry reasonably organized. Hopefully your drawers have some order to the chaos. I know with my own children, I actually made visual icons on their, I have the little laundry tubs of like all their underwear goes in a tub and socks go in a tub and swimsuits go in a tub. And I made little pictures that I put on them to make it easy for them to identify which is which. So that all can help for sure. The other simple task that kids can do pretty easily is things like clean up plates and stuff after dinner or at any meal. Bringing plates to the sink. Loading dishwasher may need some assistance when they're little if things are breakable, but as they get, we'll call it into the middle elementary school ages and older, they can be trusted to load the items into the dishwasher without smashing them, for the most part. If you have a really spastic child, you might have to wait until they're a little older, but, again, know your child and know their limits. So those are some of the basics. But again, if you check out that chore list, it's going to give you a lot more breakdown. One thing I will note is any task that involves water, soap, and cleaning that is being done on sensitive surfaces, sorry adults, you're going to have to check the work and make sure you're on top of it. It's way too easy and expensive for kids to accidentally leave big puddles of water on your hardwood floor and not realize that's a problem. So you can't just tell them, go clean the wood floors, I'll see you later. You're going to have to check in as they're doing the work and make sure you're keeping an eye on them so those puddles aren't, damaging the finish. But as they get older, they'll be more independent. But when they're young, you got to keep an eye on it. Let's see. More questions in here. Would love some tips on having teens do more thorough cleaning, especially in the bathrooms and kitchens. Is there a one-stop product or method that will get the whole room done without a checklist? Yes, actually. Kate, I've been waiting my whole life for that question because it's an honest answer. They're not going to like it, but it's the truth. Both for professional cleaners and for your teens, you're going to do the spiral method. This is what I trained for in Made Pro for decades, and it works every time. And it's simple as this. You're going to tell them, you walk into any room, kitchens, bathrooms, don't care what it is. You're going to, if you're righty, you're going to find the back left corner. This is my starting point. Up at the high top point. So I'm looking up at the sky here. That corner, that's my start point. I'm going to make 3 circles in a spiral around this room. First circle's high dusting. Next circle's everything waist up. Next circle's things at waist level. Next circle's things below my waist. Next is floors out. That's the deal. Spiral, 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 down, out. And you're following your dominant hand. So the rule is, if it passes into my hand, I wipe it. So that first pass, I got a duster, and I'm high dusting. Actually, here, I got a duster, and I'm high dusting anything I can get a hold of. It's going to be light fixtures. It's going to be cobwebs in the corner. It's going to be on top of the window frames. I'm just dusting. That's one pass. Next pass is everything waist up. So I'm wiping off quickly any of the tops of the picture frames. I'm wiping off the cabinets. I'm wiping off any mirrors that are around. Next pass, I'm doing the counters. Next pass, I'm doing the lower cabinets. Next pass, I'm doing the floors, and I'm out. If you teach that mentality of follow your hand, and if it's under my hand, I wipe it, you don't miss stuff. Now, you're going to help them learn what's the level of detail you expect. You're not going to be wiping down every book in a bookcase. You're not going to be, hand-lovingly wiping every single little, curio in your, in Yadro and Hummel in your little, display case. You might be taking a little duster and giving those a little top dust, except for when you're doing a deep clean. Once you set those basic expectations, that's now a given that we're doing every time I make those rotations. And I know, okay, I'm passing the mirrors. I just wipe off the top and give a quick zhuzh to the mirror. I know when I clean the counters, I got to lift stuff and wipe under it. I know that I'm not expected to wipe down every single book. And I know the level of detail I've been told is reasonable. But that follow your hand method and high dust, upper, counters, lower, down means you don't miss stuff. What happens with most people, teens and adults included, is they run after what looks dirty. They get into a space and they're like, okay, I gotta clean. Let me do the dishes. Let me clean the counters. Oh no, that counter looks dirty. And they go up, down, up, down, up, down. And they end up taking dirt from one thing, knocking it onto the next thing, and forgetting 5 other things. If you use that spiral method, then you have control. Let's see here. All right, let's see here. What about kids and dusting? There's so much dust in my house, and the best product for dusting, please. Oh, I feel you. I feel you. Sorry. So dusting it's real, y'all. So Candace, great question. Couple things when it comes to managing dust in your home. This has nothing to do with kids, but it does as well. So first, I'll be honest. If you're having trouble managing dusting, it has more to do with things that you have set up in your home than just your cleaning tools. Now, cleaning tools do matter too, but things like air cleaners and changing the filters if you have central air and how often you have your windows open are going to dramatically change the overall amount of dust in your home. Um, you can improve your wiping tools by far and get far better cleans for sure. But once the clean's over, the dust comes back if you haven't managed the overall air quality. If you have a wonderful climate where you're constantly keeping the windows open, your life's going to be dusty. I don't care how perfectly you clean. It's just going to be dusty because it says nature breaks down matter and makes dust particles and they fly on your house. That's how life works. If you are in some sort of apartment or high rise with the sealed windows and everything's being forced through some sort of air system, then you can have a very low dust life because everything's being filtered. Yippee. But, you have to make that push and pull decision of, do I want a ton of fresh air and open a space in my home, or do I want everything filtered through? And then, accept the level of dust that comes with that. And, obviously we want to clean well, but we got to set realistic expectations for ourselves that what we do to create that space is going to control our dust way more than our tools. So, shameless plug that if you have a problem with just overall dust, because you do have a lot of fresh air coming in, I definitely recommend checking out air purifiers. Shameless plug, not a product we make, but one I know works well. Levoit air purifiers work great and are going to help overall manage that air quality. The other thing that's going to help manage that air quality is things like getting a proper vacuum. A vacuum with a HEPA filter is going to ensure that you are cleaning the air as you vacuum and you're not blasting all your carpet, dust, and junk back into your living space as you clean. HEPA filters in your vacuums during your cleaning process, again, has way more control over your overall dust experience than anything else I can tell you to do. Because what happens inevitably is people wipe around the dust settles down to the ground, they fire up that vacuum, or they start using that broom, and they kick all the dust from the ground right back up in the air where it started, and they go, why is my house dusty? It's like, oh, because I knocked it all into the air, and a half hour after I'm done dusting, it all finally settles and lands back on everything they just dusted. So filters and better vacuums and vacuuming instead of sweeping are going to be some of the biggest components. Now, here's some of the things that I can tell you that I know I want to show you based on our products that we're going to greatly reduce your dust as well. The first one is you want to learn the joys of dusting your floors with the dry dust tool. People use brooms, and brooms are awful. I can't express this enough. Your broom's only purpose in your life right now is to sweep leaves and stuff off your stoop. Please don't use it to clean inside the house. They are a waste of time. Brooms kick so much more dirt up into the air than they ever do into that dustpan. Don't bother. When you use a dry dust pad on your mop, the really plush, really fine microfiber fibers are going to grab onto so much more fine dust and Cheerios and nonsense and hold on to it than any other tool you can use. Vacuum will do it as well, but you have to have a vacuum that's meant for hard floorings or you just scratch things up. So be careful which one you use. This I know is safe everywhere. It's light, it's cheap, and also this is something your kids can do. Your mop is usually pretty light, especially if you get ours and get one of the aluminum handles. They're extremely light, but very durable. Makes it fun and easy for your kids. They don't have to be scared of running a vacuum. For those that have sensory noise issues, that's great and easy for them. They can swivel that thing around and get most of the dust and junk off your floors very easily. And floors are a big contributor to overall dust because as we walk and move around, we're kicking it up back in the air and that ends up back on your counters. Another thing you can do for dusting is quality microfiber. Quality microfiber, again, I'm going to show you guys, make sure you see the difference here. When you have truly dense microfiber, it picks up so much more dust than whatever crud you've been using. People get this cheap junk microfiber, frankly, and you can tell the difference. Here, I'll show you here. This towel, you can barely see the light through it, right? Unless I push it on there, okay? When you get cheap quality microfiber, you can literally start to see fibers through it. It's a mess. So make sure you're getting good high quality density towels so when you're dusting, the dust is being locked into that microfiber and not being thrown everywhere. The other thing is things like for your dusting. I brought up for kids, I think this is our best duster. Now for adults, so I want to show the difference here. So we have our fluffy duster, which for the theme of this week, we're talking about getting your kids clean, is great. It's feather light, it's fun, it's fuzzy. It looks like you're dusting the house with a member of Sesame Street. It's a lot of fun, and it bends in any direction, so I can do anything from ceiling fans to dust off. Whatever little areas I can't get into, it squeezes down thin so it can get into things. It is a wonderful, fun, fluffy tool. It is you can wash it by hand, but you can't throw it through the washer and dryer. So it is a more economical choice that you kind of have to do a little more handwork with, but it's worth it for the fun, the lightness, and the ease. Great for kids. For adults and professionals, I recommend the upgrade to our chenille duster because of its long-term sustainability. This bad boy I can take off and throw in the washer and the dryer for tons of washes. These last forever. The stem you can get replaceable. So if eventually after so many hundred of bends, it snaps, the stems are really cheap. You can get a new one. It can keep using that duster cover. And especially as a professional, these are your most affordable economic choice long term because you can clean so many homes and not cross contaminate dust between properties. All y'all house cleaners that are running around with feather dusters and lamb's wool dusters that you can't wash, come on, that's gross. Cut it out. The pandemic, we should know better by now. Stop dragging nastiness from one house to the other. You know better. Okay, get something you can wash. And for you in your home, people have the same nasty duster forever, and I see you doing it. And you sit there dusting around, and half the dust is flying off the thing. Dead skin cells from 3 months ago are still on this thing, and you're rubbing it around like it's not like an issue. Come on, it's gross. Get something you can launder, okay? So if you want to manage your dust, especially high dusting, this bad boy's your friend. In the summer months in particular, if you're cleaning off your ceiling fans, everyone's got those kicking on. If you're in a humid climate where they get all like gross and mildewy and black junk all on them, this I can spray down with my favorite all-purpose cleaner or even just some warm water and done. And now I can scrub that ceiling fan nice and clean from the safety of the ground. It screws onto your extension pole, so you can send this bad boy up as high as you like, and clean those fan blades from the safety of the ground. And more often than not, when people say their home is dusty, it's because they are dusting, but they aren't capturing that dust. They're using dusting tools that kick things in the air. When you use microfiber, you're capturing and holding onto that dust, and it only gets released in the laundry cycle, so you get far less dust in the air overall. And if you end your cleaning routine with a vacuum that's HEPA, any dust that you weren't able to collect is sucked through the machine and filtered through its exhaust filter, so you're cleaning the air as you clean the floors, giving you the least dusty final result. There. All right. There's the dust handling plan. Let's see. Kate responding here. Thank you. That's an amazing, simple. They can so handle this. Yes. So yes, Kate, I'll tell you that spiral method. If I could do anything as a cleaning influencer now, is helping people understand they make procedures about cleaning too complicated sometimes. Teaching people the spiral works in every room, whether it's a kitchen or a living room or the dining room. If you just learn that mentality of I'm following my right hand, if something goes under it, I dust it. I start in the top left corner and I spiral, floors out. If I learn that mentality, I can hit any room. There may be some exceptions, like in bathrooms, I know I need to pre-spray things before I start my spiral so the disinfectants can start to work. I know in kitchens, I may have to pre-spray my stovetop so those products can soak before I start my work. But pre-spray and do the spiral. If it's just a living room or dining room, do the spiral. If it's the office, do the spiral. Once you learn that mentality of the spiral and how detailed is detailed enough for your family, like, If you want to set the expectation that every time you clean that you're completely taking apart displays and wiping everyone down, God love you. I'm not at that stage yet. Even as an expert, I'm allowing a little dust to live in my life. I break those down every once in a while, otherwise I top dust on those like little display setups. Actually, I'm a big believer in, by the way, hack to all the moms out there and all the people that like to clean out there. Discover the joy of enclosed curios. I see so many of you making your life miserable by having all these wonderful things you own out in open air display. Freaking enclose it, people. Get whatever display chest that encloses it. Or if you have a built-in bookshelves, put some plain old good old-fashioned, plexiglass over it. Enclose it. When you do so, you're able to get everything gloriously clean, close it up, and now I've got sealed in air. It's not getting dusty. I have to clean the glass, but what's in there, I can still see because I've made it clear glass. I can see it, but it's no longer getting constantly coated in dust. I'm a big believer in this because I don't have the patience to sit there dusting every little, piece of memorabilia we own. My husband's a collector, and so we have a bunch of fun little things. And one of the first things I did when we moved in our house is plexiglass is my friend. I had all these lovely display shelves, and boop, went up to plexiglass because I'm not sitting there dusting every little, Star Wars figurine or childhood toy. Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, discover the value of closing things in. That will cut down your dusting life dramatically. But if you just spiral, know what level of dusting you're willing to accept from your family as to what level of cleanliness you're comfortable with in your home, and everyone knows the spiral, anyone can clean any room with zero instructions. It's just, if it gets under your hand, wipe it. Give them a basic all-purpose cleaner that you know is safe on most surfaces and you're not scared of them using. Like a Windex multi-surface or something along those lines, or little kids, Dawn and water. And let them go ham. Microfiber is good enough that, frankly, if you're doing it frequently, that's going to clean the whole house pretty darn well most times. There may be some buildup here or there, but that's okay, I got to deal with my showers getting a little hard water buildup. That's a once in a while deep clean. But the regular just rotation stuff, as long as you do it regularly, it's all-purpose cleaner and good quality microfiber, and you're good to go. And anyone can do it, including your sullen teens, I promise. Next question here. Any advice on products or techniques for wringing out rags? As an independent cleaner, my wrists are getting tired from the wringing rags and mucho mops all day. You turned me into mucho mops and waffle towel fan. Wish they had smaller sizes. So glad that you love those new products, and such a great question. So, this is a talk for our professional cleaners, but also for our home consumers as well. Ergonomics, carpal tunnel, and protecting our hands and wrists is important. They are our keys to the trade. Eventually, if you've done too much damage, you can actually boot yourself out of the industry. So you got to be careful and guard your hands. I'm going to tell you, most likely the mistake you're making is expecting too much wringing of yourself. Microfiber Wholesale's products in particular launder beautifully for hundreds of washes. Take advantage of it. I see people all the time, for some reason, impossibly stingy with themselves. I'm going to go in this house with one kitchen towel, one bathroom towel, and one living area towel. And I'm going to rinse and wring the whole house long. Wonder why their hands hurt. Cut it out. Give yourself ample ample quantity of product. If you are cleaning a kitchen, give yourself 4 or 5 kitchen towels. If you're cleaning living areas, give yourself 6 or 7 living area towels. Give yourself at least 4 or 5 bathroom towels. Actually, for those of you that are in the cleaning world, I will shamelessly plug, because I can. Let me see if I can find it real fast. I actually made a cleaning business starter kit that I'm super proud of. This kit is everything you need to start a cleaning business, but most importantly, if you go on that page, I give you what I suggest is the rational allotments of microfiber per clean. So for you as home consumers and for you as professionals, if you want to know how much microfiber you should be using to clean a house, that is the page you go to. If you scroll down, you'll see exactly how many kitchen towels, bathroom towels, living area towels, mop pads, scrub brushes, dusters, etc. I think are necessary per home for an average, 2,500 square foot normal size house. And that kit will, give you that visual of what you need. And more often than not, when people tell me their hands are getting sore, it's because they are not giving themselves enough stuff. It is totally okay to give yourself more mop pads and say, okay, I am, going to use this mop pad till it's full, and then I'm going to put it in my dirty rag bag, and I'm going to mount my next one, and I'm going to use it. And I'm wringing out less often. I'm not constantly wringing this thing out. I'm switching pads and I'm using it in the laundry later. Um, the other thing you can do is be mindful of how much trigger spraying you're having to do overall. When you clean, there is a habit of, frankly, using too much product. I see a ton of people out there, they got everything the same style trigger and they're just all day. And that can really start to strain your wrists and hands and triggers. And it adds up. So you may think of it as the mop head that's causing you the problem, but it may be actually the spraying all day that's already pre-weakened everything, made it sore. So now that when you go to wring, that feels even more aggressive. Okay. Um, there's also getting rid of things you have to grasp, like this. And this one, as actually a thing you may not even realize is causing you issue. And I'll show you real quick and see if I can find it. Oh no, okay. I don't have it with me at the moment, but I'll show you on the link here on the line. My guess is one of the reasons that you may be feeling hand soreness is actually not from the wringing and the mopping, which is important, but it may be from all the grasping of scrubbing tools. I see this all the time in professional cleaners where they do things like they're cleaning 4+, 5+, 6+ bathrooms, full bathrooms a day, and they got these teeny little scrub brushes. They're going, I'm Henry the I am, Henry the I am, in these huge walk-in showers and tubs and baths. And you got your hand in this clenched in position, scouring away hours away, and that is murder on your hands and wrists. There's so much strain going on there that is already using up that, strength your hand had, and then you're asking it to wring some more as well. If you can take some of that grasping action out of your day, you may find that you have enough energy for that mopping wringing much easier. And the way you're going to do that is the contour scrubber. This is one of our best kept secrets, and I cannot encourage it enough. So the contour scrubber is, as you can see, this little black scrubber here is an industrial grade black rubber scrubber. Say that 5 times fast. And what it does, it has a little flex to it. It's not completely smushy. Okay, it's industrial grade rubber. It's got some strength to it. Think of it like a like a strong tire, like tire swing tire type material. Even stronger than that actually. But it has enough conformity that it will conform to tubs, acrylic shower surrounds, any sort of curved space, but with enough pressure that you can actually scrub. So instead of going to clean all your showers and tubs, you can now take your mop pole and do big sweeping motions that cover this huge amount of shower and tub area while standing erect without squatting, crunching, in that same squished little scrubby hand position. Instead of using my hand and my wrist to create that scrubbing action, I'm now using my whole body core strength to run that contour scrubber and go ham on the nastiest, grossest showers and tubs you've ever seen, easy as pie, using my whole core body strength, which is so much stronger than my sad little wrists and shoulders and neck. When people tell me in cleaning, oh, I'm exhausted, my neck, my hands, my wrists, more often than not, it's because they're making those smaller muscle groups do too much labor. And they're not putting enough of that labor into their core body. So if you want to save some energy for that mopping and wringing, consider getting yourself a contour mop to do all those tubs and showers. So you're not crouching, you're not hunching, you're not grasping, you're not scrubbing. You're from a dignified standing position, being able to hit those big shower walls, those tubs, get low, high. I can use that pole as high as I need to, low as I need to, scrub out everything. It flexes to get in any corners and curves and get that whole shower tub gloriously clean way faster and less of that tight, graspy, scrubby action that is wearing your hands down. So those are all my tips to help alleviate some of that mopping strain. At the end of the day, you do need to bring out your mop heads some. Again, the more mop heads you give yourself, the less you'll have to do it. But all those actions combined are going to greatly reduce your strain on your hands and your wrists, and take some of that work you're doing and put it into the rest of your body so that we're saving that energy for when we need it to wring out those mop heads. So I hope that all helps. Any hints on controlling pollen? Kiddo is incredibly allergic to spring pollen when we want to open windows. Ah, it's a battle, dude, and I feel you right here. You can tell your kiddo, I too had horrible spring allergies. Luckily for me, I grew out of them in old age. One of the few joys of getting older. But I remember as a kid dreading the spring and sneezing my brains out. Uh, and it's no fun. And the reality is, once you open those windows, especially during that certain time of the year when all the all the trees get horny, as I say, and they're blowing pollen everywhere. There's only so much you can do if the windows are open, because that pollen's coming rolling on in. That being said, once you close the windows, it's all about air filtration and quality dusting. So, for your poor allergen kiddo, the thing I'm going to recommend is a air cleaner in their room, especially when you sleep. If you have a sensitivity to pollen and dust and ragweed and all those things, all night long your sinuses are filling up and it makes you have trouble sleeping and you're sneezing away and it sucks. Let's just call a spade a spade. It is no fun. But they make these little air purifiers that are like room sized. They also make large ones that are whole floor sized, depending if you have an open layout or not. As I've discussed in previous shows, you don't want to use purifiers in spaces that they don't have full access to. What I mean by that is, if the purifier is rated for 1,000 square feet, but you're putting it in a room with a closed door that's like 250 square feet, you've wasted a lot of money. Um, if you have a space in a house that's all enclosed in different small spaces, get the little mini ones and put those in the rooms that get closed. If you have a nice big open layout with like big kitchen, living room, dining room type of open space, that's where you get the big one and let it hang out and do its job. But locking a big one in a little space isn't going to work. It's not going to be able to suck all the air from the rest of the house into that room if the door is shut. Okay. So air filters are going to give your child a lot of relief. Obviously, you're going to close those windows at some point when you've done letting the fresh air in, and that will help clean everything out as best it can. It will also help keep up on things while the windows are open and keep things at least to a rational level. The next thing, like I mentioned earlier in the episode, if you are dusting well, particularly with a HEPA quality vacuum and high quality microfiber, as you clean, you're going to be capturing and removing more dust and not letting it fly up in the air. If you have a kid with allergies, get rid of the brooms, get rid of the feather dusters, get rid of the lamps, wool dusters. All those things are kicking dust back in the air as opposed to removing them from your property. The other thing for your little allergy sufferer is, don't forget the power of pillow protectors and mattress protectors. Dust mites are not your friend. More often than not, when people have seasonal allergies to pollen, they also don't enjoy dust mites. And allergen on top of allergen can just create more irritation and more inflammation within the body and make you more sensitive to the new onslaught of pollen that's going on. Handling existing dust, things like dust mites, etc., can reduce the overall strain on your system and make you more tolerant and able to handle the seasonal allergy that's coming in. And all of those mattress protectors and pillow protectors keep dust mite populations at bay, protect against bed bugs as well, protect against bedwetting as well, depending on the age of your kid. They do a lot of wonderful things. And these protectors are not your grandma's squeaky rubber protectors you might remember if you're a grown up. They've gotten so much better at the tech. They feel like normal sheets and blankets now, where they don't squeak, they aren't sweaty, they allow a lot of breathing, but they still protect the surface. They're wonderful. Frankly, anyone that has a mattress or pillow they care about keeping in good condition, everyone should have protectors. Just trust me, get protectors. But all those steps are going to help in concert relieve your child's allergy experience significantly. Last thing I should mention is, if you are lucky enough to have any sort of forced hot air or forced AC or any sort of forced air system inside your home, make sure that the filters are getting changed at the appropriate intervals with the right level HEPA filtration. As I've mentioned in previous episodes, a lot of people, especially if they've come from living in an apartment, don't realize that those systems require regular maintenance. You need to change out the filters. You need to make sure that they are clean. If you are blasting air constantly through the same nasty filter, you're actually straining the engines and shortening the life of the system. And you're also making sure you got dirty air coming in everywhere. So make sure you change those filters to the level of HEPA that the machine allows. This is the other big mistake I see people making, is they go, oh, I got allergies, I'm going to get the highest level filter, MERV 15, I'm going to put in there and I'm going to feel better. It doesn't actually work that way. What you end up doing is straining the hell out of the machine, burning out the motor, because now the air is being forced through a level of filtration it was not designed for, and it can't push the air through fast enough, and it actually pushes back on the machine and causes motor strain. So be sure to read your manuals and put in the level of filtration that it says it can handle. Don't go above it. But keep those filters cleaned on a regular basis and swapped out on a regular basis. You'll be very happy. One last thing for products that we sell that I think are important relating to this, let me get to it, is the Mucho Mop is what I want to talk to you about for one quick second. If I can find it. Yes, I can. So the Mucho Mop is Let's see if I have it here with me. I think I do. Yes, good. The Mucha Mop is going to be a great solution if you are trying to manage dust in your home, particularly in filters and exchanges if you have an AC system. So everyone that has any sort of AC in their home that's built in, they know they have all those vents and air exchanges throughout the home, and they get gross because the air all gets pulled in through this air exchange, and now those little slots and slats are disgusting. They're covered with all the dust that are the home that gets sucked through as the air is going in and out of the system. These bad boys are my favorite way to keep those clean. You can see these chenille fingers. I don't know if you can see on there. Hopefully you can. Give you these nubby little fingers that are 100% microfiber that dig deep into grout lines, into those vent lines, into any sort of uneven surface like that. You can dig on in and clean those up real nice and easy. This you can rinse and wring out and use. You can wash it hundreds of washes. And again, I can now get a nice scrubby clean on those air vents, on floors, on so many things. So if you have, again, allergy suffer in the home, leaving those pockets of dust like on the fence and filters and everything, it's cumulative. Your body's response to allergens is cumulative. The more exposure you're getting, your airways and your sinuses are getting more and more and more irritated and swollen. And when that's the case, they become more and more sensitive to everything else. So you want to try to control the overall allergen load you're exposing yourself to, so your body has, frankly, some battery left over to deal with whatever it is that's come in this season that's driving you bonkers. So the more you can control overall exposure to dust mites and dust and allergens, the easier it is to handle the current spring allergy without completely going over the deep end. But honestly, again, I feel your kid. Luckily, allergy ones have gotten better than they used to be. Back in my day, there was a lot of very sleepy medication, and now there's a lot more the Claritin kids and stuff that are at least help more than they used to. Ask your cleaning lady for help with the kiddos. I'm a cleaner. I've helped many customers with their children and done pre-cleaning seminars with kiddos, especially preteens and above, and it's helped me in my cleaning of their home. Also because they are now picking up and cleaning. A person other than their parents helping make that tension go away sometimes. Crystal, yes. So everyone, I don't know if you caught that. I was reading and processing at the same time, so I want to make sure I say that out loud again. If you are lucky enough to use a professional cleaning service, and by the way, as a person in the professional cleaning industry, I can't reinforce enough, you need professional cleaning in your life. Even if you love to clean, even if you're a cleaning enthusiast, you need professional cleaning. Trust me on this one. Even just a monthly service can make such a difference in the overall maintenance of your home when an outside professional that knows what they're doing is able to look at your space and handle it in a way that you never can because you're too attached to your stuff. You are dirt blind to your own problems. You don't even notice the things that you just accept as looking that way, and your cleaning lady is able to go, oh, there's dust built up here. They're not blind to it. They notice it and they fix it in a way that you never will. So absolutely, if you can afford it, even if it's only monthly, cleaning services are your friend. And Crystal made a great offer that I think is absolutely something that most cleaning companies would be thrilled to do, is let your cleaning person help encourage your children to clean as well. Obviously, you'll need to talk it over with the business you're working with. As an independent, they have more leeway, but if you're working with a large organization, you're going to want to ask them and pay for that time, saying, hey, can my cleaner stay an extra, half an hour today to show my kids some cleaning tricks? They'll probably love to engage them on that. Several reasons. One, you're going to pay them for their time. Two, they know it's going to build your loyalty as a customer and the relationship you have with that cleaner so that you're going to want to stay as a customer longer. And three, helping you clean better, as Crystal aptly explained, helps the cleaner better maintain your home. When you, as a home consumer, suck at cleaning, you're actually sometimes making your cleaning lady's job a lot harder. And no one wants to say this part out loud, so I'm going to say it out loud. And sorry, I'm going to spill the tea for everybody. Some of the hardest things in cleaning to fix are your customers' bad life choices. I've seen things like customers that are addicted to polishes like Sheila Shine and these waxy, awful polishes. They're spraying constantly on their appliances, whatever. And you get there and everything's greasy and gross and built up, and you're sitting there trying to scrub it all off. Or they insist on mopping all their floors with vinegar, and they've softened all their finishes, and all their finishes are darkened and screwed up because they've been softening this finish, and now they want you to fix it. Or my least favorite is when they've got the Swiffer Wet Jet. I hate the Swiffer Wet Jet, and I know I actually own P&G stock. I used to work for P&G, so sorry for bashing on my old company, but the Swiffer Wet Jet is a diaper. It's literally a failed diaper that they stuck at the bottom of a mop and called it the Swiffer Wet Jet. True facts, ask any P&G employee, they will tell you it is a failed diaper. Anyhow, that means it's great at absorbing for exactly the first 4 minutes of using it, and then it's toast. And most consumers try to clean several floors with this thing, just spraying that little sprayer as they mop around, and that soggy diaper is just smearing soap everywhere. So the floor is now coated in dried up soap. And as you, as the professional, get back there to clean, you're now releasing all this dried soap on the floor. And it makes your own mopping process a nightmare because you're washing up not just the soap you made in your bucket, but all their leftover soap and residue that they got everywhere. And it's a pain in the butt to get that floor actually clean when it's coated in dried up Swiffer juice. So, as a professional, helping your customers learn to maintain their home between cleanings better absolutely makes your job more sustainable. You're spending less time fixing problems and more time creating beauty. So, most companies are smart enough to understand that and will gladly help support you in helping your kids and your family keep that home viable between cleanings so that when you get there, you can really do that deep cleaning work that helps make their home so much more beautiful and manageable. So, I thoroughly encourage that for sure. So, we are getting close to the end of the hour. Are there any final cleaning questions? I will shamelessly plug while I've got a moment before any more questions come in. Then I want to make sure everyone sees one more time our QR code for the week here, Kid Clean 15. That is your coupon code to get discounts at microfiberwholesale.com. Please use it. Enjoy. Our products are amazing. I know I say that and it sounds like, well, you work for them. Of course you think so. I can honestly use that line of, I'm not only a member of the Hair Club for Men, I'm also a client. I was a microfiber wholesale customer for over 10 years. That's why I'm working here, is I loved the products and the company so much, I decided to become part of the organization. But I was a customer first, a 10-year long customer first. And I love these products so much. I insisted. I tried so much microfiber after this organization came to me and with their products, and we switched over. We were blown away. And after that point, as my franchise I worked with continued to grow, so many companies sent us stuff. Nothing ever touched the quality and performance of these products. I can tell you so confidently, I feel so passionate about all this because I know this stuff truly works better than any other nonsense you're getting. So if you've been watching my show and kind of hanging in the background going, well, maybe, do it, okay? Just one pack. Just buy a pack of microfiber, the variety pack. For those of you that are like, oh, I don't really know if I believe this stuff really makes a difference. I've been getting these junky towels from Costco and my grocery store. They're good enough, right? It's fine, right? It'll do fine, right? No, it won't. Get even just the simple variety pack. Get them in your hands. Once you wipe a few counters down, you're going to go, oh. I mean, the first time you touch them, you're going to go, oh, and you're going to understand what I'm fussing about. Okay? Everything you do, every stroke you make, you are leaving more dirt behind when you use cotton towels or crappy microfiber. Everything you think is hard to clean is because you're cleaning with a towel that isn't doing the work with you. It's doing it in spite of you, okay? You need products that lift you up, not hold you back. So go ahead, get on there, Clean Kid 15, grab a simple something, try it out, because once you do, you're going to be addicted. I guarantee it, okay? And be sure while you're there to follow and put our email in, because I send out regular content. I'm constantly sending emails all summer long about things like, for a cleaning business, how to make more money with your microfiber, for home consumers, how to clean your windows like a pro. I send out so many articles all the time and you're missing out. If you like this content, I can be giving you that type of content twice a week in your emails. Real life professional cleaning hacks and insider tricks come into your inbox twice a week if you subscribe to our email list. So get on there, insert your email, and learn to be the best cleaner you can be. Um, We're having episodes again every Friday. If you go on to our Facebook page or YouTube page and like, subscribe, and follow, you'll see the events in advance. Tell Facebook you're going, tell YouTube you're going, hit interested or hit going, and it will send you notifications and reminders. It's so easy to get absorbed with your workday, absorbed with the kids being at home, and miss it, and then be frustrated that you missed that content. Good news is all these are archived up there, but it's more fun to watch live and get your own questions answered rather than just watching everybody else. Life is a contact sport. Participate, okay? Um, looks like there may be one last question or two in here, so I want to make sure I hit them. And then we are going to wrap it up for the day here. Oh, I got a couple last questions here. Best mopping solution. Absolutely. So I will tell you, we make several mops, but I'm going to show you my favorite. My favorite is the 18-inch Pro Mop. If I had a mop for you to get, I'd say, yep, this is the one you want. It's the Pro Mop. Because if you're a home consumer, it's going to be the last stinking mop you buy. This thing is built like a tank, okay? It's made for professional use, years of professional use. Most cleaners are cleaning 6 to 7 hours a day, 5 days a week, 22 days a month. Most home consumers are cleaning 8 hours a week max. So your lifespan on this thing is way longer. When it says years of use, they mean years of commercial use. So you will get your money's worth out of this bad boy, no questions asked. And I want you to see the quality of the pads and stuff you're getting with this kit. If you have any sort of junky grocery store mop pads or any of that nonsense you've gotten off Amazon, it's the paper thin, ridiculous little pads. Look at this thing, okay? You're covering so much more square feet. I can't even fit it in the screen, okay? But it's still thin, light, maneuverable, and so dense and plush. You are going to get up so much more dirt with every stroke. If you've got one of those ridiculous little old cedar mops, that thing has a head that's like this big. And everyone's like, spin, spin, spin. It's so fun. Yeah, that's nice. But you got like 3 ounces of microfiber on this teeny little head. And you see people on their little ASMR videos, they're taking forever. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to cover these little areas when you could just go whoosh and be done. This is a one pass wonder, okay? If you need to mop and mop right, you want the Pro Mop. And the other thing you're going to love about the Pro Mop is we can add things to it. If you look at our site, we have scrubbing heads, we have dry dust heads. So you can now sweep your whole house with that same mop head. And when you get the professional kit, this comes with it. So I don't have to break out my vacuum. I can just use this to silently sweep my whole floor, then mop, and I'm done. And if I've got tile floor or other uneven flooring, I can get the Mucho Mop pad. Fits in the same frame. Slap that on, and now I'm scrubbing slate floors and tile floors and any other uneven floors. Easy peasy with the Mucho Mop. And I can also get those vents and all that fun stuff too. And last but never least, if I've got really gross floors, particularly for the pet owners with the drooly dogs that leave dog slobber all over your hardwood floors, it's so hard to get up, you can get the scrubbing pads. And those fit on our 18-inch head as well. So if you've got a floor that needs a constant scrubbing action, the scrubbing heads are great for that as well. And it all fits in that same frame. So you can keep that system going for years. And just to show it to you here, this is the hardware. I don't know if you can see how durably this is built. It's all metal rivets, stainless steel. You are not busting this thing, okay? It is built for last, okay? And what's really fun about it is you can see here is everything moves around, but I can also lock it. This is unique to our mop system. So if I want to, I can lock this thing and now it stops wiggling and I can clean floors, from floors to now walls. So if I want a wall mop, instead of having the mop wiggle all over the place, it's locked, so it just goes up and down that wall, easy peasy, without giving me that side-to-side action. It's going to drive me bonkers as I try to clean the walls. The other thing I can do with that lock, this is my favorite part, is I can lock it sideways like this, and now I can clean baseboards. We're actually, pro tip, we are coming out with a baseboard tool to make this even cooler, but I can now clean things like baseboards easy peasy with this fingery type tool as well. So by locking in the side position, I can now use my mop vertical as well for low surfaces, which is awesome. So if you have a mop and you want to upgrade, this is the mop you want. Let's see here. Next question. The last one's here. And then when you take a peek at your microfiber in the washing machine, that was incredibly dirty and satisfying wash water. Yes, I will tell you, when you use quality microfiber for the first time and you actually rinse and wring that bad boy out, ew. Oh my gosh. It's satisfying, but yeah, there's a reason professional cleaners wear gloves. Those mops, when you start to rinse and wring it out, you're like, oh my God, there was so much dirt that my old mop was not getting. It's amazing what a real quality microfiber can do to any space. It really, like the first couple times you use it, you're like, oh, that's the big fuss is about. Trust me. Um, let's see here. I am a franchisee. Your products cost considerably more than what I get from my franchisor, the towels in particular. Great question. So, what you are hitting on is volume discounts. As you've noted, we are microfiber wholesale, right? So that means the more volume you buy from us, the better pricing we're able to give to you because we are a wholesaler. Well, actually, a manufacturer. We have our own factory in China. That's incredible. That makes all of our stuff custom just for us. But we are able to extend national discount pricing for franchisors. So if you are in a franchise and you want access to this type of quality of product, by all means, send your purchaser at your headquarters our way. We are happy to give you guys franchise level discounting for that volume of purchase as a organization that will absolutely be competitive with whatever you've been getting, but more importantly, outperform it by a landslide. I can tell you from my own experience at the franchise I worked with, Made Pro for decades. We started with another microfiber supplier, and I will be honest, their product was cheaper, but it didn't work as well, and it didn't hold up, and it didn't last the washes. So if you get a, 50-cent towel that lasts 100 washes versus a, you know, 80-cent towel that lasts 300 plus washes, you do the math and you're actually saving money just on the lifespan alone, never mind the labor change. When you are a professional cleaner, the thing you need to look at when you're deciding what's the right price for microfiber, it's not just did this thing save me money on the upfront cost, it's did it save me money long term in my overall expense of repurchasing new supplies, and did it save me labor? Because labor is always way more expensive than supplies. For a clean company, labor is usually a third of every dollar, and supplies are like 2 to 3% of every dollar. So you can cut your cleaning supplies cost in half with cheap microfiber, but then you make your labor take 10, 20, 30% longer because they're wiping with something that doesn't work. When you give them quality product and they're able to do more work quicker, you've paid for that towel 20 times over in a span of a couple weeks. I can know because I've seen it in my own professional work life for decades. It makes a huge difference. All right, last questions here, and I got to wrap it up because we're definitely over the hour. Any tools you recommend for cleaning skylights from the ground? Great question. So what I would do is we make our mop heads in both 10 and 18-inch lengths. If you go on the website, you can go and see that we have our 18-inch heads. We also have a 10-inch head. So if you want control in those, I know some of those skylights can be smaller than others. You can put it in that window lock position, extend the pole, and go ahead and scrub the dirt and all that fun jazz. You can also put scrubbing pads on there. You can put utility pads on there if you got some nasty, neglected skylights that have seen better days for a long time. All of that can be run up there, scrubbed, and then again back up there with a squeegee on the same pole, squeegee it out, and have lovely results. But I would say our 10-inch mop is going to be the most controllable in that weird sort of skylight scenario. I wouldn't want an 18-inch head up there. That'd be a little awkward to work with. So that's it. And we are now at the well over the past the hour. I hope everyone enjoyed. Um, one last thing here. Hi there, love my flexible mop head, working great as a shower scrubber with the pad you recommended. Yay! I'm so glad you tried it. I'm telling you guys, that contour mop, it is my best kept secret. When I switched our maid pros to this, all the maids went nuts for it because instead of crouching and climbing into these wet tubs, I could stand with dignity and clean these huge areas. No back strain, no shoulder strain, just use my core body. It makes such a difference. I'm so glad, Tammy, you tried it and you loved it. as many people as I can convince to switch over to the system, especially professionals, it's going to make your life so much easier as a professional cleaner. So check it out for sure. But for everyone else, we're well over the hour. It's been awesome. Thank you so much for all your questions. And I'm going to look forward to seeing you here next week on our next episode. See you next time.